Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. Imagine a woman so rooted in her faith that no storm, no hardship, no obstacle can shake her core, because she walks with a divine confidence that sustains her through every trial. This is not just a fairy tale. It's a powerful reality for women who choose to walk with God. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could ignite a transformation in how you see your strength, your purpose, and your resilience. When a woman walks with God, nothing can break her, but she must know her worth, her power, and her divine connection. Let's explore how faith can truly make her unstoppable. When we talk about inner strength, it's essential to understand that it's not something we simply wake up with one day. It's cultivated, nurtured, and rooted deeply within our spirit through a relationship with the divine. The kind of strength that anchors us in the midst of chaos. The resilience that keeps us standing tall even when life tries to knock us down. That strength isn't just about muscle or endurance. It's about an unshakable belief that no matter what we face, we are supported, loved, and guided by something infinitely greater than ourselves. That's the power of walking with God. It's a divine partnership that transforms our perspective, renews our spirit, and infuses us with a resilience that no circumstance can topple. Many women go through life carrying burdens they were never meant to carry alone. We hold on to pain, disappointment, fear, and self-doubt, often without realizing that these heavy weights diminish our strength and obscure our divine identity. But when we choose to walk with God, when we consciously align ourselves with His presence, we tap into a well of power that flows from His love, His grace, and His eternal promises. Walking with God is not a passive act. It's an active, intentional decision to stay connected, to trust even when the path isn't clear, and to lean into divine wisdom when our own understanding falls short. It's about knowing that we are never truly alone, even in our darkest moments, because His presence is constant, His love unwavering. This spiritual connection becomes the foundation upon which we build our resilience. It's like planting a seed deep into the soil of our soul, allowing faith to take root and grow. As that seed grows, it pushes past the surface, breaking through doubt and fear with the strength of hope and trust. The more we nurture this relationship through prayer, meditation, and surrender, the more resilient we become. We start to see ourselves not through the lens of our failures or insecurities, but through the divine perspective that affirms our worth and purpose. Walking with God also teaches us the importance of patience and perseverance. Life doesn't always move on our timetable, and challenges often appear unexpectedly. Yet, when we have that divine connection, we learn to trust the process. We begin to understand that setbacks are not the end, but part of the journey, a necessary step towards growth and transformation. This trust in divine timing fosters a calm confidence that no matter how tumultuous the current storms, we are being shaped for something greater. It's a deep knowing that no matter how fierce the opposition, we are equipped with everything we need to overcome, because God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. This strength rooted in faith also allows us to stand firm in our identity. Society often bombards us with messages that we are too much, not enough, or that our value is tied to external achievements. But walking with God reminds us that our worth is rooted in divine love, an unconditional love that accepts us as we are and calls us into our purpose. When we understand that we are created in the image of the divine, we begin to see ourselves through a different lens. We realize that we are not our past mistakes, our failures, or even our fears. We are divine vessels meant for greatness, equipped with everything necessary to fulfill our destiny. Walking with God also brings clarity. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything that once seemed confusing or overwhelming becomes understandable. Our purpose reveals itself gradually as we stay connected to divine guidance. We start to recognize opportunities that align with our calling and see obstacles as opportunities for divine intervention. It's through this relationship that we learn to listen to that still, small voice within, a voice that whispers wisdom, encouragement, and direction when the world is shouting confusion and chaos. That divine voice becomes our compass, guiding us through life's uncertainties, reminding us that we are never lost as long as we are walking in faith. The beauty of walking with God is that it transforms our entire outlook on life. We no longer see ourselves as victims of circumstance, but as victorious daughters of the Most High, empowered to overcome. We realize that our struggles are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for divine demonstration. When we walk with God, we tap into a limitless source of strength that renews us daily. It's a strength that isn't dependent on our human abilities, but on divine power flowing through us. It's about surrendering control, trusting his plan, and walking boldly in the confidence that we are held in his hands. This divine partnership is also about the process of renewal. It's about allowing God to renew our mind, our heart, and our soul so that we no longer operate from a place of fear or insecurity, but from a place of confidence rooted in divine truths. It's about understanding that our identity is not defined by the world's standards, but by his love and purpose for our lives. When we walk with God, we embrace this truth, and it becomes the foundation of our resilience. We stand firm because we know that our strength is not in ourselves alone, but in the divine power working within us. Walking with God means cultivating a relationship that is consistent and intimate. It's not about visiting him only in times of crisis, but about making him our daily companion. It's about developing a habit of seeking his presence, listening for his voice, and trusting his guidance. This ongoing connection builds a resilience that is unshakable because it's rooted in divine truth. It's not fleeting emotions or temporary circumstances. It's a relationship that sustains us through every season, whether in times of joy or moments of pain. The more we walk with God, the more we realize that our strength is intertwined with his. We learn that vulnerability is a form of strength because it takes courage to trust him fully. We discover that true resilience comes from leaning into divine power rather than relying solely on our human strength. This partnership transforms us from within, making us women who walk in confidence, grace, and unwavering faith. It's a journey of constant growth, where faith becomes the source of our resilience and the reason we rise after every fall. Walking with God is a daily choice, a decision to stay connected, to trust his plans, and to believe that no matter what comes our way, we are supported by divine strength. This strength isn't just for us, it's a beacon for others, showing that faith can move mountains and that resilience is born out of a divine relationship. When we walk with God, we become living testimonies of his power, his grace, and his unwavering love, reminding everyone around us that no storm is too fierce, no challenge too great when we are anchored in divine strength. Life has a way of testing us, pushing us to our limits, challenging our faith, and often making us question whether we're strong enough to endure. But it's in those very moments of challenge that our true resilience is revealed. When hardship comes knocking, it's not the time to shrink back or doubt your worth. It's the time to remember that walking with God equips you with a shield, a sword, and an unshakable confidence that no obstacle can undo. Life's trials are not the end of your story. They are the chapters that reveal how deep your faith runs and how resilient your spirit truly is. You see, walking with God in adversity transforms pain into purpose and setbacks into setups for divine breakthroughs. When difficulty arises, many women feel overwhelmed, as if the weight of the world is pressing down on their shoulders. It's easy to forget our divine inheritance when the storms are raging and the winds of uncertainty threaten to knock us over. But divine strength isn't about denying the pain or pretending everything is okay. It's about facing those storms with the unwavering knowledge that we are not alone. We have a divine partner who promises to never leave us nor forsake us. Our faith becomes the anchor that stabilizes us amid chaos, reminding us that even in the darkest night, his light still shines. That light may be faint at times, but it's always there, guiding us, illuminating our path, and giving us the courage to keep moving forward. Walking with God through adversity is a journey of trusting beyond what's seen and feeling beyond what's tangible. It's about developing a spiritual resilience that keeps us standing when everything around us seems to be falling apart. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward stronger and more determined than ever before. When we face rejection, betrayal, loss, or disappointment, walking with God transforms those wounds into wisdom. It's in those moments that our faith is refined like gold in fire. We learn that our struggles are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for divine demonstration. Our pain becomes a testimony of his power working within us, shaping us into women who refuse to be broken by life's circumstances. Resilience rooted in faith is a shield that guards our heart and mind. It guards against despair and discouragement, reminding us that our setbacks are temporary, but his promises are eternal. When we trust in his sovereignty, we understand that nothing can happen to us outside of his divine plan. That knowledge fuels our perseverance and emboldens us to keep pressing forward. Even when the road is rough and uncertain, it's about holding on to hope when everything in the natural seems to scream otherwise. Hope in divine promises, hope in his love, hope in the fact that he's working behind the scenes to turn our pain into purpose. Walking with God through adversity also means embracing a mindset of spiritual maturity. It's about seeing challenges not as punishments, but as opportunities for growth. Every trial is a classroom where divine lessons are learned. It's in these moments that we discover who we really are. Women of faith, women of resilience, women who refuse to be defeated by temporary setbacks. We begin to see that our strength is not merely in our own ability, but in our divine partnership that sustains us when our own strength falters. This partnership teaches us patience, humility, and surrender, qualities that fortify our spirit and prepare us for what's ahead. We learn to lean into divine wisdom, trusting that even when we don't understand the why, we can trust the who behind it all. When life pushes us to our limits, walking with God teaches us that we are not victims but victors. We are more than conquerors through him who loves us. Our faith becomes a weapon, powerful enough to dismantle fear, doubt, and despair. We are called to stand tall, to hold our heads high, and to declare that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, because we are anchored in divine strength. Every obstacle we encounter is an opportunity for divine intervention, for his glory to be revealed through our resilience. When we refuse to give up, when we refuse to let circumstances define us, we demonstrate to the world that our strength is rooted in divine promise, and that no storm is powerful enough to shake us loose from his love. Resilience isn't just about individual strength, it's about community, about recognizing that we don't have to go through life's battles alone. Walking with God often involves walking with others who uplift, encourage, and strengthen us. It's about sharing our stories of victory and vulnerability, reminding each other that our setbacks are setups for divine comebacks. When we stand together in faith, our collective resilience becomes a force that can move mountains. We learn to celebrate each other's victories and support each other through setbacks, knowing that we're part of a divine family called to uplift and empower one another. As we deepen our relationship with God, we become women who don't just survive adversity but thrive, because we've learned how to draw strength from divine sources. We realize that resilience is a spiritual muscle that grows stronger with every challenge, every prayer, every act of faith. We come to understand that walking with God isn't just about getting through rough patches. It's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more confident in his divine plan for our lives. Our resilience becomes a testimony, a living proof that with divine strength, we can face anything and come out victorious. We learn to see ourselves not as fragile beings, but as fierce warriors, empowered and equipped by divine love to conquer whatever comes our way. Walking with God during times of trial also teaches us the importance of patience and perseverance. Sometimes the wait is long and the breakthrough seems delayed, but faith teaches us that divine timing is perfect timing. We are called to endure, to hold on, and to trust that what God has promised will come to pass. That trust builds resilience because it anchors us in hope when everything around us screams otherwise. We learn to rejoice in the waiting, knowing that our perseverance is producing character and hope. We understand that every delay, every detour is part of his divine process to prepare us for what's next. When we walk with God in these moments, we develop a resilience that is unshakable because it's rooted in hope and divine promise, not fleeting circumstances. Resilience rooted in faith is a radical act of rebellion against despair. It's a declaration that we serve a God who specializes in turning setbacks into setups for something greater. When we face rejection or failure, we refuse to let it define us because we know our identity is rooted in divine truth. We are called to stand tall, to rise up, and to declare that while life may knock us down, it will never knock us out. That resilience becomes our silent declaration that we are not defeated, we are not broken, and we are not finished. We are women who walk with divine strength, resilient in our faith, unwavering in our hope, and relentless in our pursuit of the divine destiny that awaits us. There's a divine power that resides within each of us, waiting to be unleashed. It's not just a fleeting feeling or a temporary burst of motivation. It's an eternal flame that burns brightly when we walk in alignment with our purpose. Walking in purpose isn't about having all the answers or knowing every step before we take it. It's about trusting the divine plan that has been mapped out for us, even when the road seems unclear. It's about stepping out in faith, knowing that the one who created us has equipped us with everything we need to fulfill our divine destiny. When we walk confidently in purpose, we're not just living for ourselves, we're living to make a mark, to leave a legacy that echoes into eternity. Our purpose is a divine assignment, a sacred calling that beckons us to step beyond our comfort zones and into the fullness of who we are meant to be. Many women feel the tug in their spirit, a whisper that calls them to something greater than their current circumstances. That whisper is divine, a gentle reminder that their lives are meant for more. Yet, fear and doubt often whisper louder, trying to drown out that divine call. But when we understand that walking in purpose is a divine mandate, we realize that fear is not our destiny. It's merely a sign that we're on the brink of breakthrough, that we are about to step into a new season of growth and abundance. Walking in purpose requires courage, the kind of courage that says, I may not see the full picture, but I trust the one who does. It requires us to silence the voices of doubt and to tune into the voice of divine reassurance that affirms, you are called, you are chosen, and you are equipped. Walking in purpose also means embracing our unique journey. Comparison is a thief of joy and a distraction from divine destiny. When we look at others' lives and measure our success against theirs, we forget that our purpose is uniquely crafted for us. We each have a divine blueprint, a plan that only we can fulfill because it's rooted in our experiences, our gifts, and our passions. Walking in purpose is about discovering that blueprint within, aligning ourselves with divine guidance, and taking intentional steps toward what we're called to do. It's about knowing that our purpose isn't a destination we arrive at one day. It's a journey we walk every day, in every decision, in every act of faith. It's about waking up each morning with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that our life is a divine gift, and we are called to unwrap it daily. The journey of walking in purpose is not without challenges. There will be moments when fear tries to creep in, when setbacks threaten to derail us, and when the voices of doubt become deafening. But purpose is not the absence of obstacles. It's the presence of divine strength within us to overcome those obstacles. When we face rejection or failure, we learn that these are not signs of defeat, but opportunities to refine our character and deepen our faith. Walking in purpose means seeing every challenge as a divine setup for a comeback. It's about holding on to hope when circumstances seem bleak, trusting that the divine hand is guiding every step. Our purpose is bigger than our problems. It's about trusting that the divine purpose in our lives will prevail through every storm. Walking in purpose also invites us to live intentionally. It's about making choices that align with our divine calling and refusing to settle for less than what we're meant to achieve. It's about waking up with a mindset of abundance, knowing that there's more in store for us than we've ever imagined. Living intentionally means setting boundaries, prioritizing what matters most, and surrounding ourselves with people, environments, and habits that uplift our divine assignment. It's about being deliberate in our actions, our words, and our thoughts, knowing that each moment is a building block toward the fulfillment of our divine destiny. When we walk in purpose, we understand that our lives are not accidental, but divinely orchestrated. Every experience, every challenge, every victory is part of the divine tapestry that is shaping us into who we are called to be. Walking in purpose also requires perseverance. The enemy of purpose is discouragement, and the battlefield of purpose is often fought within our own minds. But perseverance is the divine fuel that keeps us moving forward despite setbacks. It's the unwavering belief that what we're called to do is worth fighting for. Perseverance means showing up even when we don't feel like it, speaking life when circumstances try to speak death, and trusting God's timing when everything appears delayed. It's about holding on to the promise that our purpose will prevail because it's rooted in divine truth. Every step we take in faith, every act of obedience contributes to the manifestation of our divine purpose. When we persevere, we demonstrate that our faith is greater than our fears, that our hope is stronger than our doubts, and that our purpose is worth every trial we face. Living in purpose also means embracing the process. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It's cultivated through patience, discipline, and unwavering trust. We learn that divine purpose isn't about instant gratification, but about enduring the seasons of preparation. It's about trusting that every setback, every delay, every detour is part of the divine process that is shaping us for what's ahead. When we surrender to the process, we develop resilience and maturity, understanding that divine purpose is a journey of continuous unfolding. It's about celebrating progress, no matter how small, and embracing the lessons embedded within every phase. Walking in purpose means understanding that our divine assignment is bigger than us. And it requires a steadfast commitment to the divine plan, even when the path is unclear. Purpose is also about legacy. It's about living a life that leaves an imprint beyond our lifetime. It's about inspiring others through our journey, showing them that faith in divine purpose can turn dreams into reality. When we walk in purpose, we become beacons of hope for those still searching for their own divine calling. Our lives become testimonies of what's possible when divine strength meets intentional living. Purpose isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about impacting the world around us, uplifting others, and creating a ripple effect of divine grace. We are called to be vessels of hope, channels of divine love, and living proof that purpose is powerful enough to transform lives and generations. Walking in purpose is a daily surrender, an ongoing act of trusting God's plan even when the road is uncertain. It's about waking up each morning with a renewed commitment to live intentionally, to trust divine timing, and to walk boldly in the calling placed on our lives. When we embrace this divine purpose, we realize that life isn't just about surviving, but about thriving in the fullness of who we are created to be. Each day becomes an opportunity to step into divine destiny, to leave a mark, and to live out the purpose that was written in eternity before we even took our first breath. Our purpose becomes our legacy, a testament to divine goodness, and a declaration that our lives are not accidental, but divinely orchestrated for greatness.